Dan.
And we are Team 17. This is our game, The Silver Knight. So an overview, this is the character, this is the Silver Knight that you'll be playing as throughout the game. It is a platform fantasy game, and your duty is to protect your castle, so you'll be facing 3 different monsters in 3 different levels to fight them off and kill them. So we started out with a very big storyline. So you were a refugee from a civil war, you escaped, but you have to go back in and go get the rest of your family members, and you had teleportation powers. And with each level there would be a stealth option, and then each stealth, you could either be stealth or aggressive, and then that would affect the future levels. So if you were stealth, the future levels would be a lot easier, enemies would be a lot less aggressive. But then we really dumbed that down because I really thought that was going to be really hard to build over the span of time we had. And so we kept the teleportation and we just built up from there and we came to the Silver Knight. So the aesthetics, 8-bit medieval, very bright colors, pixelated, I made all of that. And in terms of gameplay, fast-paced, fun, so I made sure that the movement of the Silver Knight and all the giants and all the animations felt fluid enough, didn't feel like the game was going to be too slow, so you have to stay on your toes throughout every single level. And there will be some sort of challenge, but as you saw from the animations in the night, not to be taken too seriously, so you can have some fun while playing as your character.
For the mechanics of the game, you can move with AWSD, and then you can jump. You can also we have 2 kinds of teleportation. One is the long range, which you can see on the picture, and then another one is like a blinking where you can short teleport. Another thing we would have, you can attack the giant, as you can see, with the space bar. And kind of like the dynamics of the game is you use like the mechanics that we give you to like strategically try to kill the giant.
So the really hard part was using Piskel for the first time, and then I had a really cool design, and then animating every single frame. So with this arm swinging, I had to make sure all the proportions were correct, and from the bicep to the forearm to the club and swinging down, which took a long time. And then having that put into the code with all of this empty space here that wasn't taken up at the time, that was creating a lot of like an empty block that the knight would bump into. So that took a while in implementing that in terms of code as well.
One of the challenges we also had was implementing the boss AI. We didn't realize how long it would take to actually just to get the boss to move on its own and then have its own attack modes and stuff like that. And then the other challenge that we had was learning Phasor. None of us knew how to use JavaScript. We never used Phasor before, so every time we coded something and we ran into an issue, we'd have to Google it and then try to like change the code to work with our game. So that caused like a lot of issues with us.
And what is going well, now that I'm very familiar and fluent with Piskel, I'm able to know what is easy and what is not capable to do in terms of animation and building everything. I know all the keyboard shortcuts, so now it's just a matter of me putting in the time and getting everything done. It's just going a lot more fluidly than it was at the beginning.
Communication is also going really well. We figured out that we needed to use Trello, so we're implementing that a lot now. And we also talk every single day throughout the week instead of just meeting up once a week. Another thing is organization. Our code used to be really messy because we just threw it on our Google Drive, but now we've kind of like organized it into like different folders for art, like miscellaneous, and like just the code itself. So that's going well. It's helping us be more organized and work more efficiently. What could have gone better is in the beginning, we never communicated. We only met up once a week, and we never talked throughout the whole week. So like none of us we couldn't keep each other accountable. Another reason was also time management. We also like only made the time to meet up once a week, and we never put in more time for the game. So we kind of realized that we should start early, and so that it would give us like a better understanding of what the work that needed to be done throughout the week.
And then in terms of more internal playtesting, with Dan and Oz doing a bunch of coding, they've been staring at these things for a long time, and then they might think something looks good. And then whenever I come in and play it, something feels off in terms of just feel like it's coded correctly, but like say the animation speed is too slow or it's too fast, then I could have told them that earlier, and they could have worked out that bug a lot earlier in terms of instead of just finding it out on the day of the sprint. So the big lesson learned was do not underestimate the work, whether it was the big storyline at the beginning, the animations, or the boss AI. Just with the limited amount of time we have and the limited amount of knowledge we have going into this project, we really wanted to make sure we were able to accomplish the work and still complete a full game. And then of course communicate is a big key, and as we said, we got a lot better at that, communicating daily instead of just once a week or just saying, hey, by the way, I did this, figuring out where everyone is in terms of what they need to do. And then obviously start early so you can start early, work out the bugs earlier, finish earlier, and then you're happy for a longer time. Any questions?
Awesome.
All right, everyone enjoy your Friday.